vitamins A and C, and only 45 calories a serving. Good morning indeed. V8, the original plant-powered drink. Veg up.
I know for myself, we all go through hard times.
Happening now.
We're in an active weather pattern for the foreseeable future. Every day, waves of thunderstorms are possible. That could lead to some flooding issues and even potentially some severe weather. I'll tell you what you need to know coming up.
The attorney for the woman who's accused of striking and killing cyclist Tito Bradshaw upset over a city councilman's letter. He writes his own letter to a presiding judge. What's in it? Coming up.
If you got your COVID vaccine, you got this little white card. Coming up, what to do with it to keep it safe.
One major step forward in the pandemic as some are now allowed to shed their masks. Why many across the country are confused with the latest CDC guidelines. And many families across the country will be receiving monthly stimulus checks from the government. Who qualifies and how much will they get? The News at 5 starts right now.
First at 5, Texas now opting out of federal unemployment compensation related to the COVID-19 pandemic.
Governor Greg Abbott announcing today the program will end June 26th. That includes those $300 per month unemployment supplement payments.
In a news release, Governor Abbott says, in part, quote, the Texas economy is booming and employers are hiring in communities throughout the state. According to the Texas Workforce Commission, the number of job openings in Texas is almost identical to the number of Texans who are receiving unemployment benefits.
He says there are nearly 60% more jobs open and listed in Texas today than there were in February of 2020, the month before the pandemic hit Texas, end quote.
The Texas Workforce Commission says about 45% of all jobs currently open offer wages more than $15.50 an hour. Only about 2% pay minimum wage.
All right, turning now to weather, chance for storms. We've actually seen some in the KSAT 12 studios over the next few days.
Yes, with the sun shining and the rain pounding down just a few minutes ago, Sarah.
Yeah, here in downtown San Antonio, that's exactly what we saw. Those were isolated showers and storms. Only a few people got to see some rain today. But take a look at this. A flash flood watch has been issued until 1 p.m. Thursday. So for a long time here, for all of these counties in green here, that does include Bexar County, additional 2 to 6 inches of rain. Isolated more than 6 inches of rain is possible in pockets. Tonight, the first part of the night will be fairly quiet, only isolated showers and storms. But by midnight, we'll see more scattered showers and storms in nature. And that'll continue, really, honestly, again, until Thursday and beyond. Now, on the radar, some good thunderstorms out in Hallettsville right now, dumping quite a bit of rain and water. And then out in Wilson County near Nixon, Smiley area, we're seeing a few showers, too. However, I'm looking very carefully at these storms across the Sierra Madres as they move across the Rio Grande. It'll be interesting to see if they can hold together. If they can hold together, we're in for stormy overnight hours into Tuesday morning. But waves and waves of thunderstorms are going to continue throughout the day on Tuesday, Wednesday, and even into Thursday. Take a look at the additional rainfall potential through this weekend, up to 6 inches of rain in many spots and even more in isolated pockets. So coming up, a jam-packed forecast in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Sarah. An angry letter sent to a city councilman from the lawyer of a woman facing charges in a fatal drunk driving crash.
Councilman Manny Pelaez had sent letters to the district attorney and a judge urging that the accused woman serve a meaningful sentence in the death of cyclist Tito Bradshaw.
Paul Venema now following this one.
35-year-old Tito Bradshaw was struck and killed as he rode his bicycle along East Houston Street just over 2 years ago. 69-year-old Linda Mason was charged with intoxication manslaughter. Last week, City Councilman Manny Pelaez sent letters to the district attorney and Judge Jennifer Pena urging that they, in his words, strongly consider insisting that the defendant serve a meaningful jail sentence. He urged that any plea bargain should include jail time. Today, attorney Pat Hancock, Mason's lawyer, fired off a response to Pelaya's letters. "I was disturbed by the tone and intended purpose of the letters," Hancock wrote. He continued, "If you had cared to gather all the facts surrounding this case before drafting your letters, you might have understood the proposed plea agreement." He accused Pelaya's of inappropriately attempting to influence a sitting judge. A hearing in the Mason case, originally set for today, has been reset. Paul Venom on KSAT 12 News.
Responding to Hancock's letter late today, Pelaya's wrote in part, quote, "If I was representing a drunk driver who killed a cyclist, I would say the same thing. It doesn't change the fact that Mrs. Mason got into a car and drove drunk," end quote. Again, those are the words of Councilman Manny Pelaya's.
Thousands of dollars worth of drugs landing a man behind bars this weekend. The suspect, Abel Cisneros, taken into custody by the Bexar County Sheriff's deputies on Saturday. In a Facebook post, the sheriff's office says Cisneros was pulled over in the 5000 block of Riddiman Road on Saturday afternoon. They say he had a warrant for terroristic threats and 526 grams of cocaine inside his truck, with an estimated street value of more than $42,000. Deputies also seized about $1,000 in cash, as well as the F-250 pickup truck.
A man recovering after he was shot in the leg last night. It happened at the Maverick Creek Apartments in the 15,600 block of Chase Hill Boulevard. That's over by UTSA's main campus. San Antonio police say the 19-year-old walking home from a friend's when he was shot by someone he didn't recognize. He was taken to University Hospital, is okay. No one has been arrested.
A frightening situation for some homeowners on the northwest side. A driver crashed into the side of their house at around 11 o'clock last night. It happened in the 5800 block of Dean Martin near Wurzbach and Evers Roads. San Antonio police believe that the driver somehow lost control at the wheel. CPS Energy was called out and they turned off the gas in the area. No one was hurt.
Taking a look at the daily COVID-19 numbers in Bexar County, Metro Health reporting 231 new infections, no new deaths. There are currently 171 COVID positive patients hospitalized, 52 in the ICU, 26 are on ventilators.
Roughly 1/3 of all Texans have now received their full COVID vaccination.
And with that comes the little 4x3 white card. 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz with what to do with that little piece of paper.
Letitia Varela has her COVID vaccine and little white card to prove it.
As soon as I got my second dose and that I had my vaccination card, I feel that I'm doing my part to stop this virus from spreading.
The first thing to do with that card, take a picture, both sides. The most important info on the card is the drug and the lot numbers.
The numbers allow manufacturers to track where and when different batches were made, to trace and better coordinate a response just in case contamination or other issues are detected.
To laminate or not, there are differing opinions. Office supply stores like Staples and Office Depot will laminate for free. Be sure you've got all doses first, because you may need to add boosters later. Some suggest just putting the original in a protective sleeve and then store it where you keep other important documents like your passport and birth certificate.
I'm keeping my card in my drawer together with my passport, my social security card, and other important documents. And I don't really take it out of the house right now.
You can carry a copy in your wallet. But what if you lose that card?
If you lose your card, don't panic. Contact the location where you got your shot. They keep a record of everyone they've vaccinated and file it with the state's immunization registry.
The CDC does not keep a record of your immunizations. What they do have is a list of the public health departments that do. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
A number of states now easing restrictions as COVID-19 cases go down across much of the country. But there is some confusion when it comes to a mask and should you wear it or not. Businesses, employers, local governments all setting their own policies after the CDC announced fully vaccinated people can go maskless in most cases. ABC's Rena Roy has the story.
A long-awaited return to normalcy as states like New York and Massachusetts plan to drop mask mandates and reopen some places at full capacity.
We have to reopen. We have to reopen smart. We have to reopen with a cautious eye. but we have to get back to life.
Major steps forward after that new CDC guidance announced last week saying fully vaccinated people can ditch their masks in most cases.
It's nice for people to be able to be outside and breathe free air. I think everybody's been dying for that. And I think it's time that it happened.
COVID-19 numbers are going down across much of the country. The Northeast seeing a 67% drop in daily cases. And Sunday, Texas reported 0 COVID deaths.
Seeing the results in people's lives and in their livelihoods. Deaths are down from COVID by 81%.
But many are left scratching their heads with different mask policies in different states and at businesses and workplaces.
Should I take my mask off? Should I leave it on? It's super confusing.
Trader Joe's and Starbucks have lifted their mask orders, but 22 states still have some sort of mask mandate, meaning in those areas, you'd still have to wear face coverings regardless of retailer policies.
Is it time?
No, for me, not enough people are vaccinated for me to really feel safe, because how do you know if somebody's vaccinated or not when they're not wearing their mask?
Most of the U.S. population, almost 2/3 of Americans, are not yet fully vaccinated. The CDC saying if you are one of those people, you should still wear a mask. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Meantime, here at home, several San Antonio area businesses have updated their own mask requirements. Beginning today, you no longer have to wear a mask at these places if you are fully vaccinated. SeaWorld and Aquatica is how you say that, I'm sorry. Costco, CVS Pharmacy, the San Antonio Zoo, Sam's Club, Starbucks, Target, Trader Joe's, Walmart, as well as city facilities. You can read more about the updated guidelines at these locations on KSAT.com.
Mid-July, it's when the Biden administration says it will start sending monthly payments to households with children. The payments part of the $1.9 trillion coronavirus rescue package. They're expected to help about 39 million households through December. Eligible families will receive a monthly payment of up to $300 per child under the age of 6 and up to $250 each month for children between the ages of 6 and 18. Eligibility will be determined by 2019 and 2020 tax returns. You can read more about the payments right now on KSAT.com.
HEB is announcing a change to its curbside service. The company will no longer charge you a fee on most curbside orders. The $4.95 fee will be waived for grocery pickup on orders of $35 or more. You can place your order at your nearest curbside location at HEB.com. The grocer says the goal is to make shopping more convenient and affordable. There are more than 250 curbside locations at HEB stores all around the state.
If you have a swing set in your yard and you ordered online, check the model. One brand is being recalled. It's the Backyard Discovery Big Brutus, Little Brutus, and Mini Brutus metal A-frame swing sets. They're sold online through Amazon, Home Depot, Lowe's, Wayfair, and Backyard Discovery from May 2019 to January 2021. One of the swing hanger pieces can detach from the main top, causing the side swing to fall. There have been 3 reports so far. No injuries, though. If you have one of these, contact Leisure Time Products for a free repair kit. The number 800-856-4445. You can also go to backyarddiscovery.com for more information.
People on the East Coast struggling to find fuel still. It's an issue that arose after the cyber attack on Colonial Pipeline last week. What's to blame and how Colonial managed to get back online.
And plus, days could go by before firefighters get a wildfire in Los Angeles County fully contained. Who's believed to be responsible and why this fire is so challenging.
Parts of the East Coast still dealing with a gas shortage, even though the Colonial Pipeline is back up and running. Last week, the pipeline shut down for 6 days because of a cyber attack. ABC News reports Colonial paid millions in ransom to the Russian-based cyber criminal outfit called DarkSide, which is responsible for this attack. While supply is no longer a concern, several states, though, still without gas.
This is not the result of the Colonial Pipeline being shut down, rather news of the pipeline and how that fed fear that there wouldn't be enough gasoline. Americans started to hoard and panic.
The Colonial Pipeline, responsible for supplying about 45% of the East Coast fuel. AAA reports the demand over the last week has driven up prices. The national average is the highest that we've seen in more than 6 years at more than $3 a gallon.
A California man could face charges if investigators determine he intentionally set a fire that's now scorched more than 1,300 acres. More than 500 homes in and around the Pacific Palisades under mandatory evacuations. That's in Los Angeles County. Fire officials there say it's the first time in 75 years a fire has burned there. 20 to 30 foot brush, making it harder to get under control.
Looking outside, it's just changing minute by minute. Right now, it looks like we haven't had any rain and have no prospects for rain.
Well, we have a lot of prospects for rain, in truth, Ursula. In fact, we've got a flash flood watch in effect all the way through Thursday because we're going to have round after round of thunderstorms. One of those thunderstorms right now is working its way through Lavaca County in Hallettsville. Good, healthy rain, plenty of flashes of lightning as well. And even here around San Antonio, you know, some folks did see some rain today, especially up in Comal County out near Canyon Lake. I'll show you the rainfall totals out there from some of the heavier rain that fell earlier. In these areas right around Canyon Lake, radar estimates of up to 1.25 inches of rain. Where it did rain, the rain fell down pretty heavily. Even around downtown San Antonio, we saw here near the station almost 3/4 of an inch of rainfall. So back to the radar now. I want to show you out to the west. Even though it's quiet in San Antonio, we are seeing a few thunderstorms develop out to the west, just near the Sierra Madres here. Notice how the county of Valverde is in this red. That's actually a tornado watch in effect until 11 p.m. If these storms can maintain their strength and head off to the east, they could be strong or severe. But again, here in San Antonio, it's fairly quiet at the moment. Skies are clearing, and a wider view here, temperatures are in the 80s. But look how warm it is out there toward Del Rio and Eagle Pass. That's pretty conducive to some thunderstorm activity. This is a really important view of Texas that I want to show you because it shows what our weather pattern is going to be. Notice how today there were waves of rainfall, waves of thunderstorms. Unfortunately, these waves are difficult to predict the timing of storms and even sometimes the location of storms because a small movement here or there can have big effects. So what we do know for sure, though, is with this big upper level low pressure system moving in, we are going to have continuous rounds of thunderstorms tonight, tomorrow, Wednesday, and even into the end of the week as well. So let me take you through the high-res futurecast. Those storms out there at the Sierra Madres, this particular model shows those strengthening and actually making it to San Antonio in the overnight hours, in the pre-dawn hours of Tuesday. For tonight, that's where the severe weather threat is, in the yellows and in the oranges for quarter-sized hail or greater. But the biggest concern, I believe, again, is the potential for flash flooding. Once again, on Tuesday, another round of thunderstorms during the day is possible. And finally, on Wednesday, once again, another round of heavy rain, thunderstorms, and even the potential for some quarter-sized hail or greater is possible. So we are in that flash flood watch until 1 p.m. Thursday for all of these counties in green. An additional widespread 2 to 6 inches of rain is possible, with isolated pockets of more than 6 inches of rain possible as well. Went ahead and blanketed a 60% chance for storms at any hour of the day tomorrow because of those rounds of thunderstorms that are going to be possible, and a high temperature only in the upper 70s. Then look at these rain chances. They go up even more on Wednesday, 80% chance for scattered showers and storms. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 40% chance for scattered showers and storms. This is precisely why we have that flash flood watch in place through Thursday. Look at this busy forecast over the next 7 days. Something that I would encourage you to do is, if you don't have the KSAT Weather Authority app, I would encourage you to download it because we're going to be adjusting the forecast over the next 7 days, and we'll go live from that weather app to keep you safe and informed. Best thing to do if it's flash flooding, Don't drive. Stay indoors if at all possible.
Just the amount of rain that we're expecting over the next few days, the biggest part of what you guys are concerned about.
Yeah, and so everything's already so saturated.
That's exactly right, Ursula.
Very frightening.
All right, the Spurs, I guess it's a good thing that they're good on the road.
Yeah.
Because they're going to have to be.
And they have to win 2 in order to get into the playoffs in the play-in tournament. When we come back, we'll let you know how that's going to work out. And also, Tim Duncan, what an incredible Hall of Fame speech and his praise for Pop coming up. After ending the regular season with back-to-back losses to the Phoenix Suns, the Spurs still have a shot at the playoffs, even though they finished the regular season with their second straight losing record following 22 seasons of winning and making the playoffs. The Spurs still can get into the postseason, but will have to play 2 playing games, starting with the Memphis Grizzlies on Wednesday. That's after they were able to put up a fight against the Suns, where they were battling to try and win the top spot in the West. DeMar DeRozan and Rudy Gay helped give the Spurs a lead at halftime. DeRozan went off for 3 straight baskets in the first, and in the second, Gay did it with defensive steal and finishing with a dunk to give the Spurs a lead at halftime, 61-52. The Suns would take the lead back in the third quarter thanks to Javon Carter, who scored 4 of the 5 Suns baskets. But even after the benches were emptied out, the Spurs, by the way, go on a 9-0 run. The Spurs actually take the lead off of the Keita Bates Diop's tip in, but Etwan Moore hits the 3 with just over 2 seconds left to win it, 123-121. Still, after all they've been through, the Spurs still have a shot at the playoffs.
Having this opportunity, be able to capitalize on it could be, a cherry on top. We go out there and fight and get ourselves in the playoffs. It's a hell of a story. Sometimes you make the best stories out of the things you go through.
The Spurs will now play the Memphis Grizzlies in the play-in tournament after they lost to the Golden State Warriors and dropped to 9th in the Western Conference. Steph Curry led the charge of scoring 46 points in the 113-101 victory. As a result, Curry wins a scoring title, sending the Grizzlies to host the Spurs on Wednesday. Here's how it match up. It'll be 7 against 8 first. Lakers against Golden State. It'll be Wednesday at 9. Then the early game on that day will be number 9 Memphis against number 10 San Antonio at 6:30. The winner of 9 and 10 plays the loser of 7 and 8. It was an exciting and emotional weekend as 5-time NBA champion Tim Duncan was inducted into the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. His 12-minute acceptance speech was funny and passionate, especially when he delivered praise to the only coach he ever played for in the NBA, Greg Popovich.
You're an exceptional person. Thank you for teaching me about basketball, but even beyond that, teach me that's not all about basketball. It's about what's happening in the world, about your family, just for everything. Thank you for being the amazing human being that you are.
For a guy who didn't like doing interviews, who didn't like public speaking, he did a fantastic job. And the reason why, he spoke from his heart.
I saw several people tear up.
Absolutely.
Among the Spurs brass. R.C. Buford,
But not
he did a great
Pop.
job.
I thought there was a little tear in the eye. Yeah, I sure do.
I think so, yeah.
We'll be right back.
Waves of thunderstorms are going to be possible in San Antonio starting tonight, lasting through Thursday, and even then a chance for scattered showers and storms into the weekend. I'll have an updated look at the forecast for you tonight at 6. See you back in 30 minutes.